Hello everyone, I'm Dr. John Gurban, PhD in Mechanical Engineering. Today I want to speak about the possibility of a retirement before the age of 50. I hope you like this video. Okay. I know that many of you are interested in experiencing retirement before the age of 50. You've probably come across this topic in various channels and pages on social media. In this video, I want to examine whether this idea has any scientific basis or it is mostly just selling dreams. I will also address one of the common mistakes made in teaching this subject on social media and correct it. The essential question is whether you can reach retirement before the age of 50 through proper and scientific investing. The answer is yes, but only under certain conditions. There are 5 key parameters involved in this matter, as you can see. First, your age. Second, the amount of money you can invest. Third, your level of knowledge about financial markets. Fourth, your lifestyle, that is, the level of financial comfort you expect to have after retirement. And the last factor, which is often overlooked, is inflation, which can reduce your purchasing power year after year. Okay. Let me start with the last factor. First, let's take a look at the 20-year inflation statistics in the United States. For example, from 2005 to 2024. So we can get a sense of what inflation looks like there. As you can see, inflation may be very low in some years, but when you add up all those years together, the total becomes a frightening number. The cumulative inflation in the US over these 20 years has been 73%. Incredible. So you should pay attention to this factor. Okay, what I mean is that $1,000 in 2005 had the same purchasing power as $1,700 in 2024, meaning that $1,000 in 2005 is essentially equivalent to $1,700 in 2024. This is exactly the point I mentioned earlier. In some tutorials, this factor is ignored. Since we are planning now for the time when you turn 50, we must take the effect of inflation into account. Before getting to the main topic, there is another point I need to mention, one that most scientific studies also fail to address. Please pay attention. And that is the correct method for calculating inflation over a period such as 20 years. If some viewers don't fully understand this 1-minute explanation, they should at least know that the mistake some people make is one that I, as a university professor, have not made, and everything they will see later in this video is scientifically accurate. But what is this mistake that I will explain in 1 minute? Let me clarify with an example. Inflation in 2021 was 7%, and inflation in 2022 was 6.5%. To calculate the inflation of these 2 years, it is incorrect to simply add 7 and 6.5, since the inflation of 2022 also applies on the prices already affected by 2021's inflation. We must multiply 1.07 by 1.065, as you can see in the illustration, to arrive at the correct 2-year inflation. This incorrect inflation would be 13.5%, while the correct value is 13.95%. Experienced viewers have probably caught the point. For those who didn't, just know that in all the data presented later in this video, I have applied this scientific correction. Okay? So we've established that inflation must be accounted in our calculations. Now you must be concerned about how to incorporate inflation into these calculations. You don't need to do anything. I have already factored in the effect of inflation in the data that follows, so you have no need to worry. That's all. I did it for you. You should do nothing. Okay. First case. In the following, I have examined several different scenarios to assess the feasibility of retiring before the age of 50. In this table, as you can see, the first column lists ages from 20 to 40. For each age, 3 scenarios have been examined. The first scenario is for someone who can save $200 per month until age 50. The second scenario is for $400 per month, and the third one is for $600 per month. The second column shows the annual rate of return for each individual. Again, considering 3 scenarios. The first scenario pertains to conditions which the individual achieves 6% annual return on their investments. The second scenario is 7% return, and the third one is 8% return, as you can see. It's crucial to note that these are net returns, meaning, for example, 6% return is 6% above inflation. So, whatever the inflation rate is, you get an additional 6% annual return above that. The last comment shows the total amount of money accumulated by age 50. Please pay close attention. This is your real purchasing power, as I have already factored out the effect of inflation from it. As you can see, in almost none of the presented cases, there is no enough money for retirement, except for two scenarios which I have highlighted, which a relatively amount of money is good. But do not be discouraged, because there are still cases that I will show you later, and you will see that there is hope. Okay, second case. In the example on this page and the next page, I have examined the issue from another perspective. In this approach, instead of investing a certain amount of money monthly, an initial investment is made by you. As you can see, the overall framework of this table is the same as the previous table, and only the second column has changed. In this table, three amounts, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 have been considered for review. On the next page, other three amounts have been considered for review: $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Let me show you. As you can see. Okay. In this table, again, you can observe that only one acceptable case exists, which I have highlighted. Unfortunately. Now, let's look at the table on the next page. In this table, it is also observed that there are only three good scenarios. In general, all our analyses so far indicate that only individuals under 25 years old have a chance for early retirement before the age of 50, as you can see. But don't rush, because there is still good news for older age groups that I will mention later in this video. Let's move on the next table. Okay. In this table, I have increased your desired retirement age to 60. And now good news appears. This table again is based on the scenario where you invest a certain amount of money monthly. For different ages, good amounts are obtained this time, which can serve as better motivation for you. Next, I have increased the age to 65. Many people face financial difficulties at this age, but look at how much money you will have in this case. In this table, many good numbers are seen that can give you extra motivation for monthly investment starting today. I should mention one point here. I have coded the calculation of these numbers, and the computer has given me the numbers. Therefore, the probability of error from this aspect is lower in my calculations. The table in front of you is not selling a dream. It is real mathematical issue and your actual purchasing power. I repeat, the effect of inflation has been considered in them, so you do not need to worry about that aspect. Okay. I would like to add a few extra points regarding the content discussed. As I have written here for you, I have 2 bad news and 3 good news. The bad news is that you cannot change or decrease your age, nor can you eliminate inflation. However, you can certainly try to save more monthly. Besides, you can increase your knowledge to achieve a higher annual return on your investments. I hope I can assist you with this on this channel. You can certainly change your lifestyle in a way that allows you to save more now and also to spend less during retirement. In future videos, I will discuss in detail the points I mentioned above. Okay, let's have a short summary together. First conclusion. In all the scenarios reviewed above, for retirement at age 50, individuals over 30 have no chance. However, for retirement at older ages, this chance exists, as examined, which is good news. Of course, there is a scientific way for individuals over 30 to be able to retire even at age 50, and that is to use a combination of both methods to save monthly and invest it, and also to have an initial saving and invest it right now. This combined method will increase their hope for success. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time and have a good day. Thanks.